times when I leave church, you hear like this benediction that comes from Ephesians 3:20 that says, "Now unto him who is able to do exceedingly abundantly, more than you're able to even think or ask." And I always wonder, what does that feel like? It's like, what is abundantly, exceedingly, above all? I want some of that. Hey, that is some of that. You think people are saying, and I'm a very prayerful guy, and they say, you gotta pray for people. So I'm like, I can, pray for people, to get well who are ill, people who are struggling with addiction and stuff. But I can say, Lord, please get up. But at the same time, I said, now if you want to pray for him, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But first, I feel truly blessed because I do have health and strength, and I do have peace of mind and comfort with Angelo, and that is so important, because when I first was approached about the Wall Street Journal, Bob Simons, my bureau chief at the time, who hired me, he made me the offer, and there were some questions there. Do I fit? There were some staffers who actually I talked to who said, you're not like the Journal kind of guy. What is this Journal kind of guy? They kind of wanted me to make it more, because I thought, well, there needs to be more than, the people that you sort of like in your mind that you think. And that oftentimes we are so quick to categorize people's skills and talents based on something that you see that's so quick without taking the time to really get to know what they're about and what they can contribute. And what's great about this newspaper is that there's a little bit of everybody. There's a little bit of everything. There's a lot of different experiences. So wherever you're from, you can kind of reflect that. And this has been the most supportive environment I've ever worked in when it comes to sort of understanding what Angelo does. John Bretcher, Ken Wells, it's just like magic. When I called Ken, I said, I've always wanted to do a story on what it's like to kill somebody. Because, you see on television, the merchants in the store, pow, you see them falling, you never know what, did she just come to work the next day? What happened? But Ken was like, man, it's a winner, man, it's a winner. It's relationships, it's Ken understanding me, it's the point in times I remember when I got discouraged just trying to find out about the shooter. Where was this guy? I was telling them, going from like one neighborhood to another neighborhood, abandoned crack houses. I can't find this guy. And Bob Simons to say, how's that story coming? Because you can, when you're doing other stuff, there's always a auto sale story, other like auto-related work to do. So there's a shortage of work. So you're like saying, well, can I get away from this car stuff for a minute just to make this cost? He's always like, sure, go do this story. We want you to do this story. That's the kind of story we want. You need to do more than just this auto stuff. But Ken was always there to support me. And when I got discouraged, and I said, we have so much good stuff from this pharmacist. Who kind of like, who cares about this guy? I can't find any more. Ken's like, Angelo has great stuff. We don't know how sorry to feel for the dead guy. We don't know how sorry to feel for the victim. And I said, well, you're right. You're right. So as tired as I was, I sort of got back energized again and hit the street. And was able to come up with a guy, who really had, amazing story to tell as far as from a family standpoint, and what, sort of what he was into that we were all shocked by, and having Ken and John as, backups. It's just, it's a difference in having editors who hear, and editors, than editors who listen, and who help. Instead of, it's no political games, it's not about who I called first, it's about the story, and that's what's most important, telling the story, giving you the resources to tell the story. That's what we do, But in journalism, we get caught up, and having worked in numerous newspapers, and it's all kind of other stuff other than journalism. And this is a place where I really feel like, I am me, wild and crazy as I am, even without a ponytail, my thumb ring, so, it's a flavor, even in this way. And I just want to thank everyone. Paul, from the beginning, Ken always said, Paul's really high on the story, and that's encouraging. When you're out in the sort of the vehicle and nucleus, you always wonder how you perceive it, how your work is appreciated. And I've always just felt like this is And then, and like I said, this moment is still sinking in that is. But I think everyone who took, Gabriella, who was deputy bureau chief when I was learning the journal structure, to everyone in Detroit, Andrea and Linda, and everybody who makes your life what it is, on a day-to-day basis. People who submitted the award, because I'm sure when you're writing letters and pasting stuff up, you don't know who these people are, but yet, we wouldn't get where we are without, everybody participating. So I'm not this ego. It's all, all of us. When I win, all of us win. So that's how I am. So thank you, man. Journalist too, and to have someone in the business who understands what it's like, when you take these chances. When I went searching in Chicago, she was so worried about me. To have someone who cares about you and who also understands how important journalism is, because sometimes we are kind of weird and how we get all deep about stories and stuff. But she's always been there, always supportive. She's the first one who's edging me on, the first one claiming this award in the name of Jesus, for me. So I love her to death.